Yujiro Hanma was knocked to the ground by Baki. During their father-son showdown, Baki charged at Yujiro, but this time it was Baki who got knocked out cold in 0.2 seconds. Yujiro had already predicted Baki's attack. Having lost his will to fight, Yujiro was ready to end the match, but Baki easily dodged his kick. This really ticked Yujiro off. He threw another kick with terrifying power that kicked up a massive cloud of dust, but once again, Yujiro whiffed completely. Baki stood in front of him without a scratch. Baki had his hands in his pockets, ready to settle things with Yujiro using his quick draw technique. This seemingly vulnerable stance actually incorporated the lightning-fast sword draw from Iato. The technique required preparing to counterattack with his hands still in his pockets before the opponent could strike, using hip rotation to generate explosive speed. Seeing this, Yujiro also put his hands in his pockets. He stepped up to Baki, and the aura radiating from both fighters distorted the air around them. They looked like gunfighters in the Old West. Whoever could throw the faster punch would win the fight. Just as Baki was about to attack, Yujiro suddenly raised his hand, saying he'd do the countdown himself. After 5 seconds, they'd both strike simultaneously. Before Baki could even agree, Yujiro's fingers started counting down. When the countdown ended, Baki didn't pull his hands from his pockets. Instead, he kept them in place and quickly crouched down to execute his quick draw punch. But just when Baki thought he'd won, Yujiro broke the rules and attacked with the same hand he'd been using to count down. Baki wasn't about to take that lying down. He quickly launched a leg attack at Yujiro's jaw, leaving his brain completely scrambled. Baki seized the opportunity to flip onto Yujiro's back and executed a grappling technique, pinning him to the ground so he couldn't get up. Oliva, who was watching from the sidelines, was absolutely stunned. This was an inescapable fighting technique. Baki started taunting Yujiro, thinking he'd already won the fight. But pinning down Yujiro wasn't going to be that easy. Yujiro's fighting spirit was completely unleashed. He raised his arm high and clenched his fist tight, then slammed it down hard into the ground. With the father and son at the center, a nuclear weapon-like explosion erupted within a 100-meter radius. Yujiro had actually driven his arm into the ground. Before Baki knew what was happening, Yujiro's fist came up through the earth and nailed him right in the gut. When Baki got back to his feet, he was so scared by Yujiro's move that he literally wet himself.